Hello, welcome to the Yarn and Yarns YouTube channel. My name is Angela and all the places you can find me should be linked in the description box below this video. Welcome to my 12 cast-ons adventure 2020 day 3. It's a little bit later in the afternoon than I had planned. I just recorded the end of day 2 this morning and edited and uploaded that, and that process took a little bit longer than I had bargained for, just because our internet was being a pain in the what's it. So yeah, it's now 2 o'clock in the afternoon and just getting started on this video. So my cast on is going to be later in the day again, but it doesn't seem to matter when I record this intro bit. My cast ons always seem to be a late afternoon thing, which is fine. So yes, stop waffling, Ange, and tell us what you're going to be making. So my project for today is going to be from this issue of Making magazine, which is Making number 9, Forest issue. I'm not sure when this was published. I'm going to say probably a couple of years ago, because I picked this up when I was in London, and that would have been at least a year ago, November time, I think. Let's see if can't see an obvious publishing date in this one, but there were quite a few projects. This magazine is a little bit of an investment. It's not cheap to get here in the UK, but there were a couple of projects in here that I wanted to make, but most specifically I bought it really for the project that I'm going to be casting on today. So if you are familiar with this issue of the magazine, and if you have been here for any length of time, you'll probably have a good idea of what I'm going to cast on. So yeah, there is a pattern in here by Susan B. Anderson for a knitted moose. Isn't that just the sweetest? And ever since I purchased this magazine, I have been wanting to cast on this pattern. And this is the kind of project that is exactly why I do the 12 cast-ons, because I fall in love with these things and then just somehow never find the time to cast them on. So yeah, the 12 cast-ons is a way for me to kind of gather all those projects and patterns and yarns that I've been wanting to work with, and just for some reason they just have not been given the priority that they deserve. So yes, I have been sitting on this project wanting to make it for a good while, and I contemplated spinning up some yarn for this, but in the end I was looking at some of the yarns that I have in the Yarn and Yarns web shop from Charlie Button, my lovely friend Charlie, and she had this beautiful British Breeds box, and I have been searching for a while for like the perfect colour for the main colour for the moose, and as soon as I saw this, I knew that I needed to make a moose from Charlie's yarns. So Charlie very kindly put together for me a sort of bespoke collection from her British Breeds double knit collection of yarns. So this is what she put together for me in the right quantities, hopefully, that I'm going to need to make my moose pattern. So yes, this is one of the Friends connections for today's project, and I'm really looking forward to working with this beautiful sort of small and locally produced British yarn. Oh, it smells so good. I'm also going to be keeping that in a special project bag. This was actually a project bag that I made from some fabric that I got from my nan's fabric stash when she passed away, and I made several of these bags, and I kept one for myself. I made a couple of different versions. Some had this brown polka dot on the bottom, and another lot had some grey polka dot on the bottom, and I kept a version with the grey polka dot. One of my lovely friends purchased this bag, but she very suddenly, unexpectedly passed away back at the beginning of 2020, and her husband re-gifted me this bag because he knew that it was a bag that I had a special connection with, and so now I have 2 special connections to this bag. So yeah, looking forward to getting stuck in and casting on my moose. I just have to figure out, I know when I sent Charlie a link to the pattern, she put together these yarns in sort of particular quantities that are required in the pattern, so I just need to figure out which yarn I'm using for what. Yeah, this is going to be such a fun project, and as I say, one I've been wanting to start for ages. So I am going to start waffling and start winding up this yarn so that I can get ready to cast on. I thought we were going to be watching a movie or something this afternoon, but James seems to be in the mood to play his game, which is absolutely fine. He's on the Xbox now downstairs, so I'm going to gather my needles and wind up this yarn, and I'll probably sit and catch up on a few YouTube videos because I am super behind on my own YouTube watching. So yeah, those are the plans for the rest of the day. I also need to find the second skein of my onion yarn that I'm using to knit my sleepover socks. If you remember, or if you watched my Can I Get These Finished by the End of 2020 video, I made myself a little plan for how many rows a day I needed to knit on my sleepover socks to get those finished, and plan is going well so far. I'm up to date, including today's, because I sat while I was waiting for my video to upload. I sat and had some lunch and knit my rows on those socks. And I've got a video clip of that actually, so I'll put that in after I finish waffling. But I'm almost out of the first ball of that orange nettle yarn from Onion, so I need to locate somewhere in this complete pigsty of a room is a second ball of that, so I need to locate that, and I think I'll wind that up too if I can find it, so that I'm ready to get stuck in to knitting my next section on those socks tomorrow. Love these so much. Look at those beautiful, beautiful natural colours. It's the morning of Sunday the 27th, so long time viewers will know it's pyjama day here. So you know how on some channels the lovely podcasters get all dolled up and look really nice for the camera. I don't even bother to brush my hair on a Sunday. You know the drill if you've been here for a while. So yes, I'm back to let you know how I got on with my cast on yesterday, and before I do that I'm going to catch you up with some of the other things that our lovely community has been casting on. I'm a few comments behind in my little notes. I'm keeping a little note on my phone If you've told me about your cast on, then I shall hopefully catch up and mention you tomorrow. So the lovely Jane cast on a crochet style blanket, which just sounds so cozy, just conjures up lovely images, that kind of star winter. Oh, lovely. I bet that's going to be an amazing project, Jane. Our Ginny has cast on some socks, and I know that due to some health issues, Ginny has been struggling to be able to knit this year, so I was so happy to see Ginny's comment pop up that she'd been able to cast on and do a little bit of knitting. That made me really happy, so thank you so much for sharing that, Ginny. Sue has cast on a reed mace hat, and she says she bought the pattern and the yarn from this really lovely yarn shop called Yarn and Yarns. Don't know if you've heard of that one. I'll certainly be checking it out. Ellie started a spinning project. That is the perfect excuse for me to remind you that you don't have to just knit and crochet. Any fibre arts count. So if you're a spinner or a weaver and you want to join in with the 12 cast-ons or the 12 start-ons, I don't know, is a spinning or a weaving project a cast-on? It is now. We're renaming it. We have the power. So yes, if you're a spinner or weaver and you want to join in with 1 or 12 new starts, then please do. Angela said she's about to start a pattern from the 52 Weeks of Sock book, which was by Lane Publishing, and I have a copy of that book and I have not yet cast on a pattern from that, so I don't think I'm going to manage it for my 12 cast-ons this year, but maybe when we get into the new year and I need something new, because, you know, you can't just stop at 12. I shall have a look in that book. And our lovely Lottie, who is, I think I mentioned her yesterday or the day before, has her YouTube channel, Cancer as a Lifestyle. She has started a Franken blanket from crochet. She's a crocheter extraordinaire, so she's using up all of her scraps to make little granny squares, and is going to sort of tie them all together, I think she said, with probably a navy blue colour at the end, which just sounds amazing. I love a good scrappy blanket, you know that. But Lottie is also doing her own little series about her cast-ons over on her channel, so if I remember, I'll link that below if you want to go and check that out. She is so lovely and so enthusiastic about the 12 cast-ons. It just, it makes me so happy to see everyone jumping on board. But obviously, as I say, Lottie's doing her own video series, so that's really fun for me to watch. Lottie does a lot of crochet for charity, so this year she said that her 12 cast-ons are 12 projects for herself or her family, so that's really nice that she's using that as a way to do that for herself, and also to try out some new techniques. And quite a few people have said that they've been experimenting with different techniques. So yes, that is it for your projects today. As I say, I shall try and catch up today and mention some more tomorrow. But for me, so I think I might need to rethink my project bag idea, because my project bag is now jam-packed. I had not counted on the fact that you stuff this as you go along, so when it was just the yarn and the making magazine fits really nicely in that bag, but now I have a body and it has been stuffed. I can't zip up my project bag, so I might need to decant this into perhaps a tote bag or something. So yeah, here we have Moose Body. I just have started the head, you can't really tell, but I've knit 4 rows on the head. So I'm using this lovely Manx Lofton yarn, was my main colour, which is one of the yarns from Charlie Button's box. And yeah, I don't think there's too much else to say about this. I did mess up on the cast on. The pattern starts with Judy's Magic Cast On, which has never been my favourite technique. I always avoid, where I can, knitting toe-up socks, because I just don't like the cast on, like either the, is it the Turkish cast on or Judy's Magic Cast On. I just find them oh so fiddly, and it just frustrates me no end. So I tend to avoid toe-up socks if I can. I mean, I can do it, it's not difficult, it's just not a technique I like. I think we all have those, don't we? And I did the thing which I always do when I'm doing these cast-ons, in that I forget to do the bit where you sort of turn it around, so my kind of joining seam is on the outside, but hey ho, he's going to be sitting, isn't he, hopefully, so no one's going to see that. But yeah, it's just a really enjoyable knit so far, pretty plain, a few increases, and I've put in some sort of pearl stitch markers, very clever, for sort of placement for the legs, and there's some up here for the arms, which you probably can't see. The sun is just about to creep round the edge of the window frame, so I need to hurry up before I can't see and you can't see. So yeah, that is my progress for my mousse. It's going to be a real wrench to put this down because it's going to be such a fun project. I'm loving it already. I'm loving working with this beautiful sort of characterful yarn from Charlie Buttons. It's just, I think as I've sort of progressed in my spinning journey, I have come to appreciate breed specific sort of fibres and yarns a little bit more, and yeah, I certainly get a lot of joy from working from them, and so yeah, this is going to be such a lovely project. Every day with the 12 cast-ons, you just kind of build up a little bit of a head of steam, and it's a wrench to put the project down, but particularly for this one, I think I just want to carry on, but must be strong. I have lots more projects to cast on, and I can come back to that at some point. So yes, that's it for the third instalment of my 12 cast-ons adventure. I am off to edit this and get it uploaded, and I've got into quite a nice routine where I am editing, uploading and working on my sleepover socks, because I've got my little chart of the progress that I want to make on those, and then once I have finished doing that, I move on to my new cast-on for the day. So yeah, I'm off to do that. I'll be back shortly to chat about what I'm going to be casting on today, but you'll see that in the next video, hopefully, if you decide to join me again. If you're joining in and casting along, please let me know in the comments below what you're starting. I'd love to share that with everyone, and I'm just pretty nosy, so I'd like to know these things too. And I will do my best to give everyone a shout out on the forthcoming videos. So yeah, please chat below. But I am going to head off and get my day started. Hope you will join me for tomorrow's video when I will have a brand new project to share with you. But until we do get to spend time together again, I hope you get to do some of the things that you enjoy. Great big woolly hugs to you all. Bye for now.